You are watching On Demand. Please do not try to vote or enter any competition or other interactivity in this programme, as it may not count and you may still be charged.
Today on your Loose Women Live, it's Kay Adams, Kelly Holmes, Katie Piper, and Sunetra Sarkar.
Hello and welcome to your final Loose Women of the Week. It is Friday! Here's what's coming up over the next hour. Women-only parking spaces, a sexist idea or a must for female safety? We've got that debate coming up. And with boxer David Haye appearing to confirm on Valentine's Day that he's in a throuple, I love that word, a throuple, with girlfriend Shan Osborne and Saturday singer Una Healy. Find out which one of us wouldn't say no to giving it a go. I know. Plus, he played, don't look nervous, Kelly, he played babyface Harley Lawson in Footballers' Wives before going on to woo our Sunetra in Casualty. Now, there she is again. She's always in some sexy scene. Now, actor Jamie Davis has teamed up with Russell T Davies for a new drama. Dr. Zoe and Porter Max, or Zax, are back together at 1 o'clock. And you can let us know your take on today's topics via our socials. Now, last night, the family of actor Bruce Willis announced in a statement that he has sadly been diagnosed with frontotemporal dementia. It's a condition with no cure that means that Bruce is going to need a lot of care over the next few years, and obviously that's going to put an enormous pressure on the family and the loved ones. I'm sure actually they've been dealing with pressure for quite some time now, because he was diagnosed with aphasia, I think it was last year, the year before. Kelly, you've been in that situation. I've been in that situation where there's illness in the family. What impact did it have on your tribe?
Well, this is a hard one for Friday, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I think the initial diagnosis is a real shock. A shock for the patient or the person, and then the family, of course, because you go through life, you know, everyone hopes that someone's going to die of old age and the inevitable will come, but when it comes sort of hits in, I think that's really hard. And I think seeing the change in a person, both physically and mentally. So my mother got diagnosed with myeloma, which is cancer of the bone and the blood, so it's incurable, but treatable. So you live off of hope, because obviously being treatable, there's a potential survival rate and no one knows how long that's going to be. So, of course, you keep everyone positive and energy and they go through the process. But the process becomes so hard on everybody, you know, because when you're seeing someone that's perceived to be quite strong, you know, that doesn't ever get sort of down or, you know, mental health sort of problems, and then they're sitting there fighting, and then they're trying all these drugs, which, you know, you get so many drugs, and then they're in and out of hospital constantly, and then the consequences of the drugs then have an effect. And then you just see them slowly declining, almost giving up. And I remember my mum, like, literally crying that she was too young to die. Like, I'll never forget that. That just one sentence. So I think it's for both. You know, it's the person, of course, is going traumatic, but everyone around you feel like you can't help. You're helpless.
Yeah.
Because what can we do?
Is that the hardest part, that it's incurable? You can't fix it, you can't take it away.
Yeah, and never knowing the end point. You don't know if it's going to be a week, if it's going to be a year. And, you know, you always hope that that person's going to be the lucky one that goes on for 10 years. But, you know, unfortunately...
It's funny when you said that about, you know, you go through life and everything, it just suddenly occurred to me. I remember getting to a certain stage in my life, and it would be just before my dad and then my mum became ill. And I actually was conscious, I thought, I've been too lucky so far. You know, because I hadn't had a major sort of crisis in my life. And it would come back to me time and time, I think, oh, I've been too lucky so far, this isn't life. It's not. And then, of course, my dad was diagnosed with dementia, and my mum had a stroke a couple of years later, and we had a really difficult 3 or 4 years. And, like me, very selfishly, personally, I thought, this is life. You know, you just don't dance through life. Most families experience real hardship, don't they? And you take someone like Bruce Willis, that people would look from the outside, he's a movie star and all the things, and they've got lots of money and all of that. But
doesn't matter.
What they'll be feeling right now will be what families across the world will feel.
Yeah, I think particularly with dementia, I think it's so sad because you really lose the person before you lose the person.
Yeah.
So I think there's two bereavements in that sense. And I think particularly as the public, we know him to play kind of, you know, action man characters. And I think with any illness or injury, there's this thing of not being who you used to be. And especially in recovery, there's an element of dignity and, you know, private things like personal hygiene and other things around your independence that you suddenly lose. And it can be quite, you know, if I think about what happened to me when I was a patient, it was very instant. And I was like a young woman in my 20s, and I went back home to recover with my family, who were brilliant, but there was still this kind of regression of it. I felt like I was a child, but I'd been exposed to an adult world.
Did you observe them sort of moving around you and trying to sort of cope with the situation?
Yeah, I think it's hard because I suppose, like you said, with caring for your mum, when people care for you, they want to make everything as normal as possible. But the truth is what's happening isn't normal. And actually, if you lose your independence, it's not a choice or an option. People do have to step in. And I think even just dynamics in the family, I'm the big sister. I've got a little sister and older brother. And I had to be the little sister for a few years. And even that's tough. I mean, I don't know how aware Bruce would be of what's happening. But
I think that there's an added dynamic of him being in the limelight, and like you say, we've remembered him from all those amazing shows where he was very self-assured, masculine. He was a hero, and now we're having to see him be very vulnerable. And I
he
think
was the saviour.
Well, yeah, exactly. And I think it must be very hard for the family to have to announce something like that, because that wouldn't be how he obviously wants to be remembered. And yet that's an extra layer that we don't have to go through. In our own worlds, it's hard enough coping with, you know, family and relatives with dementia. I watched a friend of mine have to nurse her mum for years. In fact, I feel like she maybe even sacrificed having her own family because she was looking after her mum with dementia. And as I knew her mum so well, as she started forgetting who I was, I remember feeling the pain, and that was me removed as in that instance. So I can imagine if it was somebody I was, you know, my immediate family, like you were saying with your dad, and you with your mum, that immediate loss is happening every day with dementia. You know, every day they're losing a little bit more of who they were.
It's funny you saying that about, you know, obviously my dad wasn't Bruce Willis, but in our family he was strong, really strong, as was my mum actually, very formidable. And obviously, you know, they, through the illness, they kind of weakened, if you say that. But actually I can remember thinking, my God, I have more admiration for you now in the way that you're dealing with your incapacity. Because, you know, it's easy in life to be the big person when you've got your health, when you've got your youth, when you've got everything. But when that is taken away from you, and I mean, my God, I have such admiration for you, Katie. I really, really do. I mean, you're such a formidable person. You've come through so much. And that's true bravery. Not when everything's going well. It's when things are going
Thank you. Thank you. I mean, I do actually think, though, I'm really, you know, it's really lovely what you say, but I think actually a lot of people would find themselves coping with it in the same way too, because I guess what you went through with your parents and also you and your relative, if you were told you were going to go through that, you'd say, I can't lose my parents, I can't cope. Yeah. And I think it's a very British thing. We do just get on with it, we do just cope. And I'm sure many people in the audience have been through things that they would have doubted they could get through. And I think when you don't have a choice anyway, you just kind of get on with it, you know, and you surpass yourself, and then it helps you to be resilient further on in life.
It's probably the fear you get.
Yeah.
So in your mind, you're like, I couldn't deal with that. Like what you've been through, I'm thinking, how did you not give up? Yeah. But look how strong you are. So there is something about resilience in all of us.
It's in everyone,
And didn't mean to embarrass you there. It just came. I know you never talk that way. If you've been affected by anything we've been talking about, there is help and more information on our website. Still to come, women-only parking spaces. It's an idea that one city has trialled. Is it sexist or is it good for female drivers? Our views on that next, and with new mum Rihanna admitting she doesn't identify with her old self after giving birth last year. One of us says she loved losing her identity, but do most mums feel the same? We're back in a bit. Welcome back. Casualty heartthrob Jamie Davis, who played hospital porter Max, is going to be reunited with his on-screen lover Sinetra in around 15 minutes. Stay tuned for that. that now. The capital city of South Korea, Seoul, has announced that they are scrapping women-only parking spaces. They've had them in place for 14 years due to previous safety concerns. Originally put in place as a way to keep women safe in darkly lit car parks, but there has been a lot of criticism that they're sexist and they play to a stereotype. So, Sinetra, what do you think? Good idea or not?
Well, first of all, the issue isn't the women and where they're parking. The issue is them getting attacked by people that want to attack women.
Yeah.
So that is where we should be focusing. The whole conversation has to be moved from this women-only parking spaces, if women need extra special help because women can't drive properly, or it's nothing to do with that. I think it needs to be renamed as a safety zone so people feel like it's got something to do with what it's actually about. It's not about women need to have bigger spaces to park or they need to be at the front, because that just makes the divide even harder for women and men to try and find equality, because men get attacked as well, let's not forget.
Yeah, I mean,
Do you know what
I would just say make the car park safer for everybody. Put floodlights everywhere, CCTV. No space should be unsafe, no matter who you are.
Why
you
women?
They actually they tried this in Bolton in 2002, apparently, so they were ahead of their time. They had ladies-only parking. The ground floor spaces in the town's multi-storey were well lit and close to security checkpoints, apparently made women feel safe. But, I mean, as you say, nobody should feel unsafe.
Yeah.
I think, isn't it more the fact that if you target a space for women only, then surely they're more vulnerable to the perpetrator? Because, not being funny, if you're in an underground car park and it's a women-only space and there's not anyone there, whoever's going to cause that violation is going to be waiting for someone, surely.
I suppose if they light it and put you know, CCTV in and stuff. But, I mean, do you feel unsafe, like, going into a multi-storey car? I mean, somewhere at night, dark. Would you feel unsafe?
I'm aware of my environment, but I think that's more because we're very aware now through social media or TV that there's a lot more attacks on potentially women who are vulnerable on their own in dark places. So I'm more aware, but I suppose maybe I don't think about it enough, to be honest.
You look like you can handle yourself
I
quite well, though, Kelly.
I think she could probably run away, to be fair.
You are, like, I'll definitely do a few judo throws.
No, but actually, we shouldn't joke about that because you're a tremendous athlete, but you're a slight person.
Yeah,
you know, and we're talking about, you know, if there's somebody out to cause harm, they're going to cause harm.
Look, it could be coming with a knife, could come and smuggle you, could do whatever. So, no, I wouldn't be safe if I am attacked by a large man and on my own, I would be in trouble.
Yeah. But how do you feel about it, Katie? I mean, do you feel safe generally going about? Or?
Yeah, I wouldn't go to a car park late at night on my own. I wouldn't go out late at night on my own like that. You know, I would probably try and stick in a group with people or in a pair at least. But yeah, I mean, the prices you pay for car parks, especially in central London, you would hope that they are safe for everyone. I think it's worrying. I mean, they should have systems where you can only get in with your parking ticket and, you know, there shouldn't be...
Isn't it sad that we're speaking about it, though? Why should we be speaking about our safety? Why can't we just go around, park up, do our shopping and go without anything?
Well, I think, as you said, Sinetra, that's where you might start to get people say, oh, this is sexist because you put the woman tag on it. But actually, the problem is violence in society. And for someone running a car park to say...
Take the spotlight off women's parking. I'm a really good parker. I'm a good parker.
Tell us your nickname.
Sarka Parker.
No, you're right. I think it's about anyone's safety. So I think what you said is absolutely key. More lighting, more CCTV, and then if something happens, more kind of, what's the word? You know, kind of repercussions of that.
I have to say, one time I drive a smart car, right? So it's not very big. And I had to leave it and get the bus home and ring my husband to come and get the car because I couldn't get it out.
That's not
got stuck in a space.
It was like an alleyway that needed to reverse down and I kept hitting the wall, so I just left it. Just locked it and left.
You should have called Sarker the Parker. That's what I'm saying. It's competition time now. We have got an amazing bucket list prize for you. Lisa Snowdon has got all the details you need.
We have a winner for every single prize at ITV, and this week we've got the ultimate sun-soaked getaway. Yes, we've a holiday of a lifetime to Barbados and an incredible £30,000 in tax-free cash. Yes, we could be risking you and 3 friends or family on a 7-night tropical getaway to Barbados. We will be staying all-inclusive at the 5-star O2 Beach Club and Spa in a 2-bedroom oceanfront suite. Stunning beaches, aquatic adventures, fine dining and sunshine. All of this just waiting for you. And to make sure you can kick your holiday plan into high gear, we're throwing in £30,000 in tax-free cash. Remember, we must find a winner for every prize, and this time it could be you. For your chance to win big, get that entry in right now. Text prize to 86060. Text costs £2 plus one standard network rate message. Go to the website, entries cost £2. Call 09068 786060. Calls cost £2 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and phone number to DY07 PO Box 7558 Derby DE1 0NQ. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close on Friday the 10th of March at 3 p.m. Good luck!
Now, last year, pop star Rihanna gave birth to a baby boy with her partner, rapper A$AP Rocky, and she's expecting again. ASAP. Speaking about life... I couldn't resist it. Speaking about life as a new mum, she said, you don't really remember life before, the feelings, desires, things you enjoy, you just do not identify with it. Is that the way that you felt, Katie?
Yeah, I think she is right. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. You're bringing a whole new life into the world. You kind of put yourself on the back burner, but it's very temporary. You know, needs must for that short period of time. I mean, I'm still at the early stages of, you know, my children are 5 and 8, and I got a Valentine's card for them, and they wrote mum in it, and I still get butterflies when I see the word mum. I know. I'm a saddo, what can I say?
And when you hear them shout mum in the house, does that make you
Oh, I
feel
love
good?
it. Yeah, even if I do,
I go
it's
to
a
the
nice...
car.
Yeah.
I think I was a different person pre-children, and I do know what she means about when you see photographs of yourself before the person, you know, you became after children. You do kind of go, I do remember you, but I don't think I can still be you. I think I was more of a child before I had a child. I think I really had to mature and become an adult. So for me, I quite enjoyed the person I became after I had a mum, and so I do actually relate to what she's saying.
Yeah, I mean, Kelly, obviously you don't have kids. You have loads of friends who have kids. I kind of had two bites at it in that I had quite a few friends who had kids when I was young. My brother and his wife had kids when I was very young, and then another good friend. And to be honest, sorry, I found them all very boring. I was really irritated that they'd gone and had children and spoiled their fun because they just didn't want to do these things anymore. And then when I had kids later on, then, you know, everyone was completely over it. Nobody was interested in us. But for you, let's be honest now, have some of your friends got really boring?
Yeah.
Yeah. No hesitation.
I mean, no, because I have 10 nieces and nephews, firstly, so that's from 4 sort of families, and I definitely saw the change in each of either my brothers, actually, or my sister-in-laws, or my sister. One of my sister-in-laws refused to change. She was like, no, I don't mind having children, because my brother wanted children, but I'm not changing my life at all. My name's still Claire. I want to work, you know, and she integrated it in, and actually, it worked out fine. I was thinking about this, actually. A couple of my friends don't have children either, and we're under the same sort of opinion that it's great to have them as nieces and nephews, but we can go, bye, love you.
Yeah.
We don't have to have all the hassle.
moan about them,
But-
most of them are just telling you they're not a great thing.
But those that do the whole childbirth talk and mumsy things, how big my boobs are, it's like, oh my God. Morning. Like, for someone who's not a mother, you're like, listen to a gaggling load of women all just chatting about baby poo and things.
Yeah.
I mean,
You know what I mean? So,
listen, let's be honest, it does make certain friendships difficult for a while. I mean, hopefully they come back again, but when you're absolutely in it...
You can't deny you have got a different lifestyle. You've got people to look at. You've got to keep people surviving. You know, you've got you can't just leave it. So it does
I'll
become
leave
like
it to
having a
other people.
second job.
That's fine.
But it's interesting what you said about your sister-in-law saying she wasn't going to change, because I thought I'd be that person. But, you know, I still find myself eating fish fingers over the bin, loving watching the kids' programmes when they've gone to bed, moaning and all those things, and just being tired every single day of my life since I've had a kid, you know. So it's really hard not to change.
I'm still making up for the sleep that I lost all those years.
really?
I'm still making... I do still say
How
to my
that?
husband, this is for, like, 2014, January.
Can I just ask you, why are you having the fish fingers over the bin?
Because I go to put them in the bin because they haven't eaten them, and then I'm like, I'll just have one.
Yeah.
And then I'm like eating the plate over the bin, and it's just, it's really tragic.
I used to be Katie.
Yeah. What's happened? What's happened?
Do you have proper meals, though? Like, do you have proper...
I'm okay.
think I'm okay. Yeah.
No, we do. We all sit together, but they like to eat a bit earlier. So then I think, oh, I might eat when they've gone to bed. And then the truth is I just have 2 meals. I'll eat their leftovers and my food.
The one single thing I found most difficult was never going to the toilet on your own again.
Yeah.
Really, really was annoying for me. And that little sort of knock on the door. Are you in there?
Oh, showers.
Yeah. Anyway, showering. We love them. Here's what's still to come. After Love Island's Farmer Will admitted to playing away by kissing new rival Layla behind girlfriend Jessie's back. Sinetra's furious. Would you forgive one kiss? Then...
Them dogs again. I could hear them all last night. There's a lion out there.
Lion? Don't talk soft. It's not friggin' Africa.
He played Footballers' Wives Harley Lawson and Sinetra's love interest in Casualty. We are reuniting Sinetra and actor Jamie Davis. Jax, next. Welcome back to your final Loose Women of the Week. Keeping you company this lunchtime, it's Katie Piper, Sinetra Sarkar, Kelly Holmes and me, Kay Adams. Still to come today, 60% of us had admitted to doing it, cheating on our partners in our dreams. But would you ever admit to it? Sinetra will be revealing all about her night with Simon Le Bon, no less.
This show is crazy.
And boxer David Hay appearing to confirm that he's in a throuple. Would any of us share our partners? It's probably Sinetra. I mean, she's confessed everything else, hasn't she? Now, actor Jamie Davis first appeared on screens as fresh-faced Harley Lawson in Footballers' Wives. He was just 19 years of age. He then charmed our very own Sinetra when he went on to play hospital porter Max in Casualty.
And I asked you what the occasion was, and you said...
It's you. It's always been you.
It's always been you.
Please sign these papers before you go.
What are you doing?
If you're lucky, you get one extraordinary thing that happens to you in your life. And do you know what mine is? It's you. It's always been you.
Reuniting with Sinetra, please welcome Jamie Davis.
Well, that was awkward.
I need to know about this kiss. Like...
She was more forward than I was comfortable with. Let me tell you.
There's a court case. You can't talk about
We're getting over it. We're getting over it.
You two became such a thing, though, didn't you, as
Yeah.
acts?
We did.
Yeah, I mean, so the kind of couple of years that we spent on that show was kind of where we met, and we had a brilliant time.
It was such a lovely storyline, and for the fans, but for us, brand new act. Yeah, we'd never worked with each other. We didn't actually know each other from beforehand, and we had to create this quite extreme relationship of a consultant falling in love with a porter. And I think, you know, the top of the tree and the bottom of the tree. You don't mind me saying it like that?
No, it's fine. Thanks for that.
No, but
Just broke his heart.
it was the fact that these two unusual, you know, different characters would find each other, and I think Jamie and I found that, like, that was our homework. We're going to make this work without people going, oh, that would never happen. That's what we didn't want people to say, didn't we?
Yeah, and I think with any, like, whether I'm writing a show or you're being in a show, you just want people to believe it and enjoy it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As much as we did.
Yeah, absolutely. And we got lucky because the chemistry for us to want to make it work was always there. We're both really happy with the fact that we managed to pull it off, I think, you know, without people feeling like this was, like, oh, you know, kind of obvious TV that sometimes...
No, and it rounded up really nicely. Never know people got into. But listen, you've walked away from the acting world.
Yeah, no, so it's... I mean, writing was something that I always wanted to do, and I think it was kind of during that time when we were working together that I thought, this is this is what I really want to do now. And I think you just have to take that leap where you go, as opposed to talking about it, are you actually going to go and do it? Do you know what I mean? So the show that I wrote is called You and Me. It's on ITVX, February 23rd. And it's a story about a boy called Ben who we meet, and he's living in London, and he falls in love. And then we see his story over 2 timelines, before and after a tragic event happens. And then you're left guessing not only what happens next, but what that tragic event was. So, like, in terms of where the idea came from, I wrote this at a time in my life when things were going really well for me. And I sort of catastrophized that and thought, what's the worst thing that could happen? I thought what's the worst thing that could happen? And I thought the worst thing that could happen is what happens to this character, because then you've got a story. Then you've got a story about whether anyone can ever come back from that. And a story about whether anybody can ever find love again, because that's what this is. It's a love story, but more than that, it's a story about love. And it's a story about the love between a boy and a girl, a parent and a child and a parent, and it's about what that love costs you. Do you know?
We do have a little clip, and I really don't want to give any spoilers. I mean, I'll set it up and you can tell us if there's anything else we need to know. So this is a scene between Harry Lottie playing Ben, Julie Hasmanthout, I love Julie Hasmanthout, playing his mum Linda. So they're having a heart-to-heart after Ben has experienced a huge tragedy. Am I allowed to say what the huge tragedy is?
No. You can find out on 23rd of February.
OK, let's have a look at the clip and then you can explain after.
What are you thinking about?
Today.
Do you want my advice?
Yeah.
Just get through it. Are you gonna have a drink today?
No.
Gosh. Oh. I mean, even in 15 seconds, it's powerful.
They're both incredible together. And I think that that's what we were talking about what does that love cost you if it goes wrong? Because I think, I don't know, but I think all love costs you something, even if it's just the jeopardy that you might lose it. I mean, so I met my wife when I was 17, and I'm aware that at any point of those intervening years, this could have gone wrong and I would have been lost, but we did it anyway. It's the question that these characters face is they know they love each other, but they know they can't promise each other anything because of what's happened to them. But they do it anyway. That's the risk you take when you love someone. That's what love is. That's what life is.
You can't be in love without being vulnerable.
No, and I think that's what this show says, really. It's a show that asks the question, is the power of love worth the risk of heartbreak?
Yeah,
Do you know what
I
mean?
think
And
it
that's
is part of love, hurt and pain, though, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I don't think you can have one without the other.
No.
It was Russell T Davies who picked up the script.
It was, yeah.
I mean, my goodness, what a person
unbelievable.
to have an exec producer.
I went away and I wrote the script, and I thought, if I could send it to anybody, who would I send it to? And I thought, Russell T Davies, because he is the best. He was my hero.
Doctor
I'd worked with him.
It's a Sin.
Everything
Nolly.
is genius. I'd worked with him like 9 years previously. I bumped into him once in a coffee shop. And so we had no real... Yeah, we were there together.
We were both going, it's Russell T Davies, it's Russell T Davies.
She's taking credit for it all now.
I'm not. I was there when you met Russell at the coffee shop in Wales.
So I thought... so I sent him an email with the script that basically said, look, I know it's highly unlikely you'll have the opportunity to read this, but if I don't send it, it's impossible. So I'm going to choose highly unlikely over impossible and send it. So I sent it, and then about 2 weeks later, remember, I was on the train, it was Friday night, it was like 5 to 6, I had both my kids on my lap. I thought, check my emails, and then I'm done for the week. And I had an email from Russell that I will never forget. Like, it's still saved on my phone. Lucy can quote it verbatim. And he said we should meet for lunch, so we met. And he said, if it's OK with you, I think we should try and make it. So I went, yeah. And then he sent it to Dominic Trowell-Collins, who's an incredible executive producer at Happy Prince, ITV. And Dom read it and said we should develop into a TV series. So I said, yeah. And then we worked on it. We sent a copy of the script to Russell. Russell read it, was incredibly generous about it again, and said, if it's OK with you, I'd like to become executive producer. So for the third time, I said...
all right. Yeah, exactly.
And then we sent it to ITV, they loved it, and we shot it in the summer last year. And all of this happened from that email to this happened in, like, 2 years. And I think everything that's happened for me, the shows that I'm writing at BBC, the other shows that I'm writing at ITV, have been the dictionary definition of a dream come true.
We
and I don't know.
courageous in your approach.
Yeah, no, well.
You deserve it. He really deserves it. I mean, I don't say many nice things about this guy.
He doesn't say any nice
I don't
things
say
about him.
many nice things about this guy, but he's always been a right at heart, and he's also a brilliant actor. But I'm so chuffed that somebody has shown us how it can work. Dreams can come true because he deserved it, and the writing is
out there.
No, but it is. But I think
exceptional
it's,
writing.
Yes, listen,
It is. It's
that's
great.
really kind.
No, it's really
but
good.
I think that what is also true is like that my fortune is matched only by my gratitude. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm absolutely acutely aware of how incredibly lucky I've been and how this doesn't happen for everybody. But for it to happen at all was incredible. But if it happened this quickly, and with Russell T Davies and and Julie and Harry Lawty and all of these things, and everything that's happened since has been incredible. It's been really
And we are going to see it next Thursday night, February the 23rd,
Well,
on
thank you very much.
ITVX, You and Me. Jamie, thank you so much.
No, thank you so much. I'm coming for you.
Coming up, dream cheating. Could your partner be cheating on you even without realising it? And after Love Island's Farmer Will admitted to being a bit of a naughty boy, with new arrival Layla behind Jesse's back, could you forgive a little kiss? We'll see you after the break. Hello, welcome back. In just a minute, we're talking dreams, kisses, and thrupples, not to be missed. First, it muted me. It's competition time again. Here's Lisa Snowdon.
Here's a chance for you and 3 people of your choice to escape the UK and head to the Caribbean for a holiday of a lifetime. Oh yes, bring on the sunshine. Well, sadly, I know I can't enter, but you can, and you can do it today. Just imagine those hot golden beaches, the blue sea, great food, and all the memories you can create with your beloved ones. You and 3 guests could be flying to Barbados, where you'll stay for 7 nights at the 5-star O2 Beach Club and Spa, located in the heart of all the action. As well as the dream holiday, there's an incredible £30,000 in tax-free cash on offer. So that's 30 grand and a stunning holiday for 4 people. For your chance to win big, text prize to 86060. Text costs £2 plus 1 standard network rate message. Go to the website, entries cost £2. Call 09068 786060. Calls cost £2 plus your network access charge. Or post your name and phone number to DY07, PO Box 7558, Derby, DE1 0NQ. Entrance must be 18 or over. Lines close on Friday the 10th of March at 3 p.m. Good luck!
Now, a relationship dilemma for you. Radio 1 DJ Ricky Haywood-Williams has revealed that his partner cheated on him with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in her dreams. In her dreams. No, literally, it was in her dreams. But the thing is, Katie, would you tell your partner? I mean, I think everyone dream cheats, don't they? Oh, it's just me. What do you think?
Awkward. No, I think you can't control what you dream, but you can control when to know how to keep it zipped and not tell anybody. So I think it's fine. I would be more worried about the motive behind telling your partner about what you dream about.
Ooh,
because you know, what would be the reason you'd be telling
I know, you
them?
wake up in the morning and say, oh, I had a really sexy dream last night with somebody else. I mean, how's that going to go?
That's
And
why you
why,
edit
though?
it,
Why
wouldn't
is it
you?
in your head in the first place? That's what I'd worry about. Like, why that specific person? And then what are you actually doing? Do you know what I mean? Like, how far are you gone?
I always dream about people I work with. It'll be you tomorrow night. I'll dream of. Oh my God! Whoever
Can I just say,
Whoever I've interacted with is more likely to be in my dreams, I think, because you're thinking about them.
I think we're trying to make too much sense of dreams, which are notorious for being off the scale, like unusual. When you wake up from a dream, you go, you won't believe it. I was in my house, but it wasn't my house, and I was with you, but it wasn't you. You do.
Are you trying to justify Simon
not
Le Bon? Are you trying to justify Simon Le Bon?
So I tell these girls, and I swear, down, I'm not telling you anything anymore. I said when I was 17, I had this relationship in my dreams with Simon Le Bon, and it went over 4 or 5 nights. I believed it was happening, but then obviously I kept waking up.
Yeah.
What is this? Right, I'm sorry. This is getting far. It's out of hand. So what my point of this is, I don't know what I get up to in my dreams, right? Who does?
But-
Who does know what
Can
they
I
get?
enter into this? Okay, shouldn't have said that.
No.
What about daydreams? Because you have more control over your daydreams. Come on, Kelly, have you never just whiled away the odd hour having a little bit of a daydream about somebody who's not your partner? Is that a nervous laugh?
On the spot.
On the spot.
Look at the body language here. Sinettra's like that.
No, I don't think I'd even tell. I would never tell them if, like, I had.
I'm not asking you that. I'm asking if you've done it.
Why did I come on this show? To be embarrassed, right?
Have you?
Yes, of course I have. And I think every single person has.
Yeah, you're saying
No,
You're all
daydream.
coy.
Are you allowed to fantasise? That's what you're
Well,
saying.
if you're not in a relationship, then you can fantasise about anyone. I mean, let's face it, and dream night and dream everything. When you're not with someone, it's if you're with someone, Kay.
That you're
That's
not
the
allowed. I
question.
don't think that's.
Kay.
I think that's true.
I think be free to think what you want. Just don't act on it. You know?
Don't tell her.
It's your dreams, everybody. It's in your dreams. This is not happening for real. It's when we close our eyes and go to sleep.
But you're in a nightmare today.
Simon Le Bon, Simon Le Bon, Simon Le Bon. Now, well, we're moving on now. We're warming up. We're talking about sharing your partner. Thrupples! Boxer David Hay has appeared to confirm that he is in a thruple, or a threeple, as Sinettra would rather call it, with girlfriend Shan Osborne and former Saturday singer Una Healy. He posted these pictures to celebrate Valentine's Day, there you go, writing in the caption, "Happy Valentine's to the beautiful queens in my life, making my world a better place to live in." So there you go. Life in a thruple, Kelly. What, fancy that?
I mean, I can't get over the fact, because he's Olympic champion, isn't he? I can't
So are you? Maybe it's a thing?
No, but...
Could be.
OK.
If you had to choose two of us, who would it be?
You know I've got a soft spot for you anyway, Kay. You know I've got a soft spot for you.
Yeah, well, I get to choose the third one.
I'll be in your dreams and they can be a throuple. How about that?
Let's go for a thruple.
Yeah, let's go for a thruple, thumble. I don't know. I mean, I couldn't do it. I personally couldn't do it. Like, I don't know. I'd probably feel jealous. I'd be thinking about that person being with the other one at certain times when I want to be with them. I mean, what happens Valentine's Day? Do they all do... I suppose they all do Valentine's Day together, do they? I don't get the concept. That's just my personal thing. I don't think it's wrong, right? I don't know.
Katie's very
Good
liberal.
luck.
What do you
Yeah, I
think?
totally get the concept.
See,
yeah. And I
Yes,
think,
Katie.
you know, I really admire Una. She's been through quite a painful breakup in her marriage, father of her children. And, you know, I would see an arrangement like this where everything's laid out on the table. I mean, I would rather be in a throuple than be lied to and cheated on. So, you know, if I met somebody that said, look, I can't be with one person, but I can be with two, and are you happy to do that? And it's consenting. I think they're obviously having a great time. They're not hurting anybody. And maybe if you've already had children and you don't want a long-term relationship and more kids, it suits where you're at in your life. So
I get that. I mean,
let me
nobody
join
wants
the
to be...
throuple and make it a quadruple.
I think that's a addition piece, actually.
I feel like that's if you're happy to sit in quite a superficial relationship and friends with benefits, for example. If you want to have something truly intimate and deep where you feel connected and trusted, I think it's very hard to know which bits, when's your turn to step aside to let somebody else, you know, because we're so used to trying to be as honest as we can be with our partners. I think trying to do that with three people. Does that mean that the two women are also in a relationship with each other, or are they just in a relationship with the man? You know, it kind of
But if you just want fun, and you're not looking for that...
If it's, like I say, if it's on a more superficial level, I think this is probably a really...
It might not always be sexual as well. You know, we don't know the extent of relationship. I mean, I'm assuming it is. But, you know, that extent of that relationship, one might not be that sexual, one might be that they just really get on. I mean, the world's changed, hasn't it?
It certainly
Intellect is sexual in one way. Emotion is very kind of given, so...
I can't wait for my dreams tonight, I tell you. It's going to be very busy in my head. Love Island last night. Sinatra was watching it. The boys returned from Casa Amor. Yes. And Farmer Will was very disappointed, admitted that he'd had a kiss behind Jessie's back.
I reckon I'm a proper, like, touchy-feely person.
I'm such a touchy-feely person.
Yeah. Yeah. In the moment, it was great. Do you regret it?
Will, were you loyal?
No, not completely, no.
Wishing I was someone.
Well, drama.
What on earth? I mean, I only watch it for research purposes, obviously. But I have to explain to people who don't know, what happened is the whole test of Casa Amor is to see if you can stay loyal to the partnerships that you've made beforehand. And, you know, this is the place where you would have guaranteed Will the farmer, wholesome Will, who didn't find anyone until Jessie turned up and we all went, well, you know, somebody went for him even though he might not have been the most hottest. And then he went and did the unforgivable, I think. He just went and he actually grafted and went for it. It wasn't
You've got
like
the
an
lingo and
accident.
everything, haven't you?
Grafted on the job.
He seemed a bit cut up, though, didn't he? He was nearly crying.
Well, exactly. I think he really... The truth of the matter was he's probably never been the most popular guy in the room, and he felt it and he went with it, and then he's regretted it because he actually had something very good. The truth of it is he's learning a life lesson. The problem is the poor girl who did stay loyal to him has come back expecting him to be the guy we thought he was.
But you used the word unforgivable.
Yeah.
So if someone you were with, you know, had a kiss with somebody else and they came back and they made the big explanation, it was a mistake, and my goodness, I really
No, I'm just going to stop you there. No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
No kissing at all is, for me, forgivable.
So that
Apart
would
from
be a game changer.
An accident of, I went to kiss her cheek and she went, that's fine. But anything more than that, especially if it's with that moment which people know is that real, I'm going to kiss you feeling.
cheat all the time.
Huh?
It's screen kissing.
Oh, stop now. That's
Cheating
not
all the time, aren't you?
Oh, what are you saying? No, screen kissing. That is like asking people in the audience now to kiss their partner in front of all of us here now. It would never feel like the real world.
Yeah.
So that's
Deal breaker for you, Katie?
Well, I think the trouble is about the kiss, is it a gateway to other stuff, and it has the trust been broken? And I do accept that, you know, that people make mistakes, but I think I'd find it really hard to then trust the person in the relationship. So it's difficult. Until you're in that situation, I think you can't judge it, you know.
Quick yes, no, Kelly?
No, I think there's something wrong with the relationship if you're going to kiss somebody else.
Yeah.
True.
Well, it looks like my dreams of a throuple have gone out the window. There you go. That's it from us. Next week, Deborah Meaden, Jordan North and Strictly's Graziano Di Primo are all waltzing by. Have an absolutely wonderful weekend. We are back here on Monday at the same time, same place. We'll see you then. Bye.